All right, some stocks on watch for Monday. RYL is one of them. I'll show you real quick another home builder that's really strong. But RYL, the home builders have had pretty good news lately. And so you got to like Ryland up over this line here. So that's on long watch. And if you look at LEN, it's pretty close to a breakout as well. KBH is kind of bucking, I don't want to say bucking the trend, but it's stronger than the other home builders. Just reported, I believe, on Friday. So a really strong move. And I kind of just think the home builders are going to catch some upside here. DHI, you can see, sold off, but then closed near its highs on Friday. Geez, I'm forgetting some. MTH, TOL, they all look pretty strong. And so I've sort of chosen Ryland at random out of all of them just to have one home builder to watch. So if that group catches some strength, I'll be looking to go long RYL if it gets some volume and starts breaking these recent levels. All right, KNDI, nice volume on Friday. It ended up giving back some of its intraday gains. I had a real nice pop here, but this one, I've been watching my videos. I've been watching this one, and it, snuck back above 14, closed below it. This just goes on my radar. It's showing a lot of volume lately. I like this one a lot, this EGHT. This has been in a few of my videos lately. Big sell-off back here. I think they had earnings. Get the drawing tool going here. I think they had earnings, and I could be wrong about this, so don't email me and say, hey, you idiot, you were wrong. But I think this was the day they had earnings. You can tell by the volume, and it gapped up a little bit and just sold off all day. And it wasn't very long. Let me switch to like 30-minute candles. It wasn't very long after that, I think. Let's try 60s. Wasn't very long after that they came out. You got a big volume spike here, I think it was, right here, on an insider, big insider buy actually. And then it came back down, took out the recent lows sideways, and now getting strength again. It looks pretty darn good if it can clear through 8 on volume. Let's go back to the daily now. Okay, so what you've got is a beaten up stock, really seems to have bottomed right there below 7. And now, kind of a tight little flag right here between 750 and 8. You can see nice volume on Friday, nice volume, I don't know, about 8 or 9 days ago to get us up there. And, things, stocks run higher, and then either, if they're going to go higher, they either pull back, or they consolidate through time or price, okay? So this, instead of pulling back after the run from 7 to 8, it's just been kind of chopping around, consolidating through time instead. So I think the next move is up. It's had some good news lately. I'll be watching for a move in EGHT over 8. Some other interesting stocks. Sorry about all those lines there, but Micron, MU, after this gap up and then a nice secondary move, had earnings, I believe, a few days ago, is really in a range, okay? And so what happens on a really strong stock like this oftentimes is you get a range, and what we have now is Micron coming down near the lows of that range. So I'll be looking for a bounce, especially around 31. I don't know if it's ever going to get there, but if the market's not getting killed and Micron comes down near 31, I'll be looking on an intraday chart for a day trade around 31. A lower priced one, XGTI. Again, this has been on my videos probably three days in a row. I haven't had a trade in it yet, but it doesn't mean I don't watch it. So you gapped up here, and it's just still bleeding lower. This news, I don't know how big it was for the company, but it was a big contract with the Army. And if it gets down to filling that gap, I find it hard to believe it'll be worth as little as it was before that news to investors. So I'm looking for anywhere around 2, maybe below 2 for an intraday reversal. And if I can get that in a strong close, that one could be a good swing trade. But that's not going to be the top of my priority, that cheap one there. But it will be on watch. You never know. Might catch a trade in it. CBS, huge move on Wednesday. 2 red days down. I don't have any kind of trigger price for you, but that one goes on watch. If I can get a narrow range, for a few hours on Monday, and then an upside break out of that range, I will go long for a trade on CBS. FRO, still flagging, but put in a green day on Friday, and so I still have that one on bounce watch. Didn't catch a trade in that one. Didn't trigger for a trade on Friday. PBF, a refiner, just getting killed. 4 days down in a row. 27 was resistance, might become support. Also 26 is another interesting area. But one of these days, refiners will catch a bounce, so I want to have something like that on watch. And speaking of refiners, HFC, I put a line there. gets down near that line, which would be these lows from February, which were around 43 bucks. A little bit higher, it was 43.17. So if you get around, it's good to have a line on your chart already, so in the middle of the day, if it gets near there, you don't have to scramble and see what the exact price is. So, you know, if HFC gets down near that line, I'll be looking for a trade in that one on Monday. Also in my notes, RGSE. Talked about this one in the video last week, and it's still interesting, up over 3. Did not mean to do that. So it ran up to 3 here, kind of a little bit like that EGHT chart I showed you. And it's in a range, and you know, it's getting decent volume on the up day, so up over 3. If solars get, you know, catch a bid again, RGSE is kind of a lagging solar there. And geez, that's really what I have on watch. We'll find other stuff as the market unfolds tomorrow as well, but that's my starting list. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you. We'll talk to you on Monday.